Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So today, we're going to do this silicone rubber for mold making. So what I did is I took just a plain white coaster that I had made and I covered it with rhinestones and gems. And I added some to the sides. So we are going to try to make a mold of this that hopefully will give us that sparkly, diamondy mold. So what I've done is these are just the plastic sheets that come between my canvases for painting. You could use, any type of plastic or a bowl or cup or whatever you have that's big enough. So I cut a strip that I know will go around my piece. Now we got to make sure that we leave a space around the coaster because you want to have an edge on your mold. So I'm just trying to see if that is going to give us enough of a circumference around it. Yeah. So I'm going to hold this. Well, actually, I got to wipe this off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mark. And I'm going to wipe the inside off with some alcohol. I'll probably have to do this a couple of times. Like I said, I am not a mold maker. I would like to learn more and get better, but that doesn't happen unless you practice, right? So I know my piece is not 100% cut straight, but I do have the edge for the bottom, which is that piece. So I'm gonna get me a piece of tape and I'm gonna use that for the bottom and hold that right there, reposition that around there to see. I'm gonna go a little bit bigger. All right, we'll go right here and I'm gonna tape it. Okay. Now, the problem that I always have when I'm making these is I end up getting leakage. So I'm going to try and not get any leakage this time. And I don't want to wrinkle. All right, so now it's going to be all, I'm trying to figure out, I probably should have cut this a little bit smaller. So let me peel this inside piece off. And I'm going to cut this down a little bit more. To see. So that gives us a little bit better of a round. Okay, That will work. So now I will retape the inside. And I don't want any wrinkles if I can help it. But as you can see, but we're not going that high up with the silicone, so that's okay. Because we're only going to come up over the silicone a little bit. All right, so now I've got to do some strips of tape on the bottom. And I'm going to put it so that the sticky side is up. And we're going to make it so it's big enough. And I'm just going to stick them together. So we want it wider than our circle piece. All right, I'm going to move my camera because I'm afraid I'm going to be off angle here, off so you guys can see what I'm doing. And we're going to go one more. Okay. So that is big enough for this. Okay. Now, I'm trying to think if I snip, because I want the tape to come up around. Maybe I will, every time I use hot glue, I seem to get leaks. So I'm trying something different this time. And I don't know if this is going to work any better, but probably not. So I'm going to cut that. I'll go like that. And then I guess we're going to bring these sides up. Cut that a little bit so we can get that to lay down, and then that to start to come up. So that was either we had a bolt of thunder because Sophie does not like thunder, or UPS. All right, so I know I'm probably going to get a little bit of leakage, but if I can minimize the seepage, I will be better off. And then what I'll do is I'll go around with like another piece of tape on the outside. Now that's the part that I taped the other way, so that is not gonna stick. Oops. But when I go around with another layer on the outside, then it should. All right. So I will take this, and I'm going to start here because that's the spot that I want taped up. And then I'm just going to fold that over. And then hopefully, if we do get anything to leak, it will be minimal. And I'm trying to see where I ended my piece going this way right here. Okay. All right, so I wanted it tighter than that, but whatever. I thought I cut these. Now, hopefully I didn't make it too wonky. All right. And I'm going to try and all right. That's pretty close to being all the way around. Okay. Whew. So I did have a shell. I don't know how much this is going to be. So so this is what comes in the kit. You get an A and a B. It says in the directions by weight, and if you don't have a scale, it can be done by volume as well. So we're going to do it by volume because you guys all know I hate measuring anything. I'm assuming that you get that I'm going to need probably 4 ounces, I'm thinking. So I don't know what the beads are. It says picking pad. All right, so avoid contact with sulfates. You know, store in a cool, dry place. Shelf life is 12 months. Unopened. Use up to within 3 months after opening it. You know, wear your protective stuff. Metal containers such as stainless steel. Bowls, trays, sturdy, durable, with fast heat dissipation. Wax paper cups, cardboard. Foam plastic containers. Containers made from sulfite oil materials or inferior plastic boxes cannot be used, such as PVC. So here it's measure A and B 1:1 by weight. If no electric scale, you can mix 1:1 by volume. There may be a slight difference in the hardness of the finished product. So for a coaster, I'm not too worried about that. Mix A and B, stir clockwise along the side walls and the bottom for 3 to 5 minutes. You can also add mica powder to color the mold. Working time is 30 minutes. Place in its original container to store. Must be at least a 1/4 inch above the item. Then wait 3 to 6 hours for demold at room temperature. Don't use a release agent, so do not use mold release. So we are going to get some mixed up, and we are going to see if I can succeed on a little coaster. All right, so that is pressed down, so that's stuck to the bottom, and that's what we want. I'm going to start with 4 ounces because I don't want to mix too much up. So we are going to, let's get my knife here. Right here. Oop. I have another project I'm working on right over here, and it's a big one, so I don't have room for it. So I'm like, my table is really squished. So we've got that one. Let's get this one open, and then we will be able to just pour, mix. And you can run this through your debubbler. And it also says you can use a heat gun to disperse bubbles too. That was the other thing. All right, so we've got B open right here. We might as well just pour. I'm going to pour to the 2 ounce mark. So I figured if we go with 4, if I need to mix up more, I can just mix up more and pour it over, but that way I don't have too much. And then we will go to the 4. Okay. And I'm going to just use one of the longer sticks, and we're going to stir this up. Now I'm trying to do like they said and just go in one direction. I am scraping the sides and the bottom. I got my stick right on the bottom. All right, so let me get this mixed up. I'll do this for 3 minutes, and then I will let it set, and then we'll be back, and we will pour this, and hope and pray that we don't end up with a mess. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, so I got that mixed. It's been setting. So while that was setting, I was reading some of the core advantages. So it is compliant with food contact standards, has no irritating odor, is safe and non-toxic after curing, efficient, easy to use, initial curing in 30 minutes at 25 degrees Celsius environment, complete curing in 4 hours, ample operating time, no need for professional equipment. It can withstand high heats up to 200 degrees with a tensile scrape, whatever that is. And it is, I thought there was something else I wanted to tell you, and I completely spaced it. So when we get this done, we're going to take it out and we are going to pour this coaster. So, and yes, I don't have my gloves on, but I have not touched the silicone. So I am going to pour it from up high. Oh, you know what I did want to do? Oh, I almost forgot. No, this is my paper towel. I want to wipe down this. I meant to do that before I put it in there, just to make sure that I have no like fingerprints on any of those stones. Yes, try to do this before you get your piece adhered. And that way there, we can try to get as many of the facets off these little gems, hopefully, as we can. Okay. Now we can pour. Making sure it's not touching the edges. And we are going to pour. Now, it does not say, that's what I was looking for, anywhere in there, how long to wait after you've made it. I'm assuming 4 hours because it says it's fully cured at 4 hours. So, yeah, I'm assuming that, so we're just going to pour it after 4 hours once I take it out, and I'm probably going to have to make up a little bit more. Oh, maybe not, maybe not. I will have to stick my stick in there to see how much is over. No, I guess we are good, guys. My word. Is stuff gonna actually go right for me today? I'm just gonna take a dry stick just to make sure. Because it says at least 1/4 of an inch. And yeah, we have at least 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to take my scraper, and we will try to, why not, right? So scrape out every bit we can. Okay. And then I'm going to spray with alcohol. So, doesn't look like we're getting any leaks. I mean, there might be a few inside the tape areas, but it's like not leaking out. So far, so good. I'm just going to run that over a little bit. And we can even use the heat gun. I mean, the bubbles, I'm sure, are going to come out, but why not help it a little bit? Just got to be careful that we don't melt the plastic. You know, and I could have ran it through the debubbler, but you know me, I'm impatient. So we will just let that cure, and I will be back, and we will see if we can make this piece happen. Alrighty, guys, I'll be back. Okay, guys, so this is all firm, so let's cut this out of here so we can hang on, let me turn this a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. All right, we have got it out. So we had just a little overage, nothing major. Let me get my little silicone tool here. And we are just gonna go around this edge and trim off any extra that we don't need. Okay, let's just pull this aside. I just hope and pray all my stones were stuck. I had done this 2 days before I knew this was coming. So, I got the coaster pre-done. Oh, so we lost one stone, but I don't know. It looks kind of good, guys. And like I said, I don't know how much this is going to hold, but I'm going to get some resin mixed up. And so far, that is looking, oh, hang on. That is looking pretty good. So, I am, and what is, that is a stone stuck in there. Do we leave it, or do I try to pull it out? That's the question. Let's see. I'm just going to did we get the stone? That is, I think so. Okay, so that is pretty good. We only lost 2 stones off the whole coaster, so I can deal with that. Okay, so let me get some resin. We're going to get that mixed up. And we are going to pour this and see what we get for a coaster. All right, I'll be right back. Let me get some resin mixed up and I'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, guys. So what I did is I mixed up 4 ounces and I put the Azure Blue in the resin with a little bit of the Marabou alcohol ink and glitter, the violet blue green. I did run it through the debubbler. It could have probably used a couple more minutes, but I'm impatient. So, and I got 1 glove on, so we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna spray this. We're gonna hope for the best. So I mixed up 4 ounces. I did split it equally. And we are just going to pour this in. This is the Bond Craftor 1-to-1 resin. So I know, because I use this resin all the time, that I know it's going to degas really, really good. But because I've created all the facets in there, I am going to take one of my silicone tools, and I'm just going to rub that on the bottom. And it looks like I'm making more bubbles than I'm getting rid of. But I do want to try to prevent any bubbles from like clinging onto the back. You know, onto those little faceted areas. And it looks like I made up too much resin. I mixed up 4 ounces, and I'm thinking it's only going to take 2. So, all right, we can put a little more in there. But it's definitely not going to take the other 2. All right, let me just give that another spritz. And we will end up pouring. All right, so that is pretty much, it's domed. A little over, actually. So we have got 1.5 ounces left. Let me see if I can find my little hippo mold. I've got to make a spot where I kind of put all my smaller molds, because I'm having a hard time when I need to find one of my little molds where I put them. Let's see. I found my elk, and I think he takes more than the 2 ounces, the 1.5 ounces, but we can always get it poured, and then we can always finish pouring it at a later date. I don't know where my little hippo is. And that's what I wanted to make. All right, I guess we are just gonna pour and see what we get. I should spray it with some alcohol. Oh my goodness. So I think I'm going to be able to scrape enough out of here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that cure. And then I will just top the little bit of the bottom off with some UV resin, and I will do the antlers out of UV resin. So yeah, give that a good spritz. And I will be back on demold, guys, and we will see how this turns out. So the reason I poured this in just the clear blue is because I want to see if we are going to see those facets, if it's going to give us that you know, that same sparkly look that we get from the into resin molds. I mean, it's not going to be as intense without a doubt, but if it is going to at least give us that little bit of sparkle, I would be happy. So we'll let this cure and I will be back. Oh, let me just move this back here so you can see. I did kind of zoom in so you could see what I was doing. Alrighty, I'll be back on demold. Bye. Okay, guys, so we're back. I just put the UV resin in the bottom and in the antlers, so I got that curing. So let's see how our little coaster came out. I am really anxious to see this. So if this works, what I'll probably do is make 4 of them, or 3 more, and then I will put it like in a thing to make like a 4-pack of the mold. If that makes any sense. So I'm just gonna flip that over. Well, I'll just let it keep curing and then I can cure it after. Okay, so, oh. All right. So our mold came out nice. Are we ready? So I do have a little trimming to do, but, oh, look at that. I did it, guys. I did it. So we do have a few micro bubbles in the little gems, but yeah, I think that is going to be awesome. These would make really, really nice coasters. So, I mean, because these are see-through, maybe I would only put the little rubber feet on them. You know, put like 3 rubber feet instead of the cork on the back. I am impressed with this. Yay me! All right, and I'm gonna have to charge my light because I just saw it was blinking. All right, so let's get our little antler out, and I am going to have to cure this on this side. It's still a little tacky, but let me see here if I can get one of my lights. Yeah, I might have to. I think my battery's getting dead in that. Oh. Now I forgot, this guy's got the big head. So he does have a little bit of a difference on the bottom. So we definitely gonna have to get some alcohol down in his fat little beanie head. Even trying to get the alcohol in there is like crazy hard. Okay. Oh, my hands are so broke out. Oh, alcohol. Ow, ow, ow. There we go. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. actually. I'm going to see if I have enough battery to just cure this one's all cured. It's just the antlers, but see how it's blinking now? So, and you can run this with the cord in it. I just don't have okay. And then we have our little, we have our little moose guy, or elk, or whatever he is. All right, so let me color his eyes. And these are just the oil markers. Trying to make them as even as I can. And as round as I can. Because we don't want this little dude to have like wonky eyes. All right, I think that's gonna be about as good as he gets. And give him a little nose. And let's just give him a little bit of a smile. And that's a really crooked smile. Kind of like my smile. I'm just trying to even him out. So there are a few little micro bubbles down at the bottom, but because of the crushed crystal in there, it pretty much disguises it. And I'm just going to put some E6000 in his antenna. And, oh my goodness, if I can get it open. Yep. So I'm just going to squirt some down into that hole. And then we will just put this in just like that. And we'll let that cure. So yeah, that's our little project for today. So let me know if you guys would have done anything different making this coaster, because like I said, I am still learning on the making molds. So I have no clue what I'm doing. All I know is I tried to do it different than I did it last time, and this one worked much better. So yeah. And this was a 15 A hardness. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but that was a 15A hardness. So it's a nice sturdy mold, but yet it's still really flexible. So the higher the number, the firmer the silicone. So yeah, I'm going to probably do another one. I'll put that stone that fell out. I'll glue that back in once that's set up. And I'm going to make another one, so at least we have 2, so I could make a pair at a time. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.